Morning, lovelies. What is joy? Let's talk about it. Jesus, coffee. So what is joy? What's the difference between joy and happiness? There's a difference. So I want to get into the difference between joy and happiness, and then I want to go over what joy is and the source of our joy. So, joy is vertical. Okay, joy comes from God. It's vertical. Happiness is horizontal. If you think of a cross, think of the vertical as the word joy. Then the shorter horizontal is happiness, right? It's shorter, it's not as full, but the joy is the vertical, because that's where our joy is found, vertically. So let's talk about what joy is and where do we find joy. I mean, we find joy vertically, yes, obviously. But joy is the supernatural delight in the person of God, the people of God, and the purpose of God. So the 3 P's, right? The person of God, the people of God, and the purpose of God. That's what joy is it's supernatural delight in those things. So people of God, just God allows us to see each other and know. I had a beautiful interaction with a sister in Christ on Saturday at school I teach at. We ran into each other, and I could just see, when I walked up on her, I could just see Christ shining. And it's a beautiful thing. So God allows us to see each other. When she told me she's a believer of Christ, I was like, oh, I can see that. That was obvious. So we talked about what it is. I want to go over a passage. There's many passages that talk about, the joy of the Lord. Great passage in Nehemiah. If you want to go Old Testament, great passage in Nehemiah 8. In fact, let me dig it out. It's Nehemiah 8:3, I believe. Anyway, so the passage we're going to go over is actually going to be John 15:11. I was just trying to dig out this passage. Anyway, so John 15:11. Many spots in Psalms. Psalms talk a lot about the joy of the Lord. Many passages in Nehemiah, he talks about the joy of the Lord. But we're going to go over John 15:11. So these things I have spoken to you, that my joy may remain in you, and that your joy may be made full. This is my commandment, that you love one another, that I have loved you. So Christ's joy is in us, right? And he tells us right there that my joy may remain in you, and that your joy may be full. So joy is a lasting feeling, where happiness is fleeting. You chase happiness. Oh, I'm happy, and then you're not. And then you're happy, and you're not. Joy sustains. Even in the midst of the hard, joy sustains. And that, like we talked about, comes vertically, right? because God sustains. God is consistent. He never changes. That's called immutability. My favorite attribute of him, because he just never changes. We change all the time. We change like underwear. I mean, we change all the time. He never changes. You know, he is who he is. So, joy. What is it? That's what it is. It's the supernatural delight in the person of God, the people of God, and the purpose of God. So, when we're digging in and we know who God is, we have delight in who he is. We have delight spending time with the people of God. And we know what God's purpose is. So we have the delight in that. So dig in. And so my challenge today is dig in and look for some passages that talk about joy, and find one that brings you joy. Find one that's easy to hold on to, easy to memorize. That way you can have a hold of that. This week I'm going to go through Hebrews 11. For the rest of the week, I'm pretty much going to go through Hebrews 11, which is what we call the Hall of Heroes of Faith, and just kind of dig through where they exhibited great faith. So, I love you guys. I know he loves you like crazy. We'll be back tomorrow with whatever Dad wants to talk about. Love you guys.